Samanvitam Shri Chaitanya Prabhu Vande Nityananda Sahoditam Shri Nandanandan Vande Shri Radhika Charanandram Gopijan Samayukta Vrindavanam Manoharam Shri Gauranga Nityananda Shri Vaita Chandra Gadadhara Shivasti Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare. This Sunday satsang, January 7, 2024. The first part of the class is Understanding Shastras. We're saying different quotations from books by Sri Satyanarayana Das Babaji Maharaj, where he explains how to understand Shastra and how to properly study them and get the most benefit by studying and reading Shastra. So this point he makes is the relation of Guru in understanding Shastra. He says the Guru is the key that opens the door to the teachings of the Parampara. Parampara means Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara. Our Parampara, we have particular teachings, Govibha, Raganu, Bhakti, Nam Bhajan, etc. And these teachings that are in our Shastras, the door to those teachings, the understanding of those teachings is all through the mercy of Guru. When we study, first of all, he said, nice point he makes. If one studies independently, without Guru, without teacher, one will be influenced by one's material samskaras. These impressions are mental impressions, our conditioning from this life and last life. We see the world according to our conditioning, we act according to our conditioning, we feel according to our conditioning. So 5 people, 5 different human beings dealing with the same situation will have 5 different responses to their different samskaras. So Shastra's interesting point he makes. Shastra gives us knowledge of what we have not experienced in our material life. Pay attention, this is an important point. Shastra, they teach us, they give us knowledge about what? About what we've never experienced before. The reality of the spiritual world, the dealings of the spiritual personalities of Bhagavan and his devotees. We don't have experience of mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers and teachers and bosses for life after life. We know the material world. Some of us know more than others. But that world, the other world, we don't know. We're not from this world, that world. So we have to study with a teacher. And when we study Shastra with the guidance of a genuine Guru, then we are, if we study Shastra without a Guru, then whatever we read, we'll get a wrong understanding. Because we'll interpret the Shastra according to our material conditioning and concepts. A nice point I thought when I read this, the Shastras give us knowledge of what we haven't experienced in our material life. So we're a new devotee, so we meet a Guru. The Guru has been studying Shastra and living in the spirituality for 50 years. He's been living in that reality for 50 years, generally 40, 50 years, more than the disciple has even started. So obviously he's not only talking to Shastra, but he's living it for 50 years, and he's experienced and realized Krishna to a certain extent, according to his own development of bhakti and bhav. So that's a nice point, because when you have the Guru holding your hand, and he knows the way through the forest. If you get trapped in a forest in Kerala, you fall out of a plane into a forest in Kerala, how you get out if some jungle guy comes along, some black guy, some Adivasi, some Shabra, or some guy in the forest. Every tree looks the same. There's no footpaths, there's no road signs. You're used to road signs and highways. Now you're in the jungle. all kinds of dangerous animals. And some guy says, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm trying to find my way out." "How you gonna do that?" "I don't know." "Can you show me?" "I know." And you follow the guy, he goes this way, ducks down under these bushes and between these trees and this way and crosses the river. And you just keep following and then you get to where you want to be. Other gurus like that, he's from another planet. He's from another galaxy. He's from another reality. And he's played over there. He's seen over there. So he says, "Well, come with me. Hold my hand, or hold my feet, or whatever. Whatever works. You know. Hold my feet. Hold my dhoti." Sometimes he will write Vyasa Puja offerings. "Prabhupada, I'm just holding on to your dhoti, and hoping you'll take me back to Godhead." Okay, that's okay, but if the guru is like Krishna draws his dhoti sometimes. And Radharani Sundari says Radharani winks at Krishna and his dhoti falls off. So as the guru is bouncing up me with Krishna, when Krishna's dhoti falls off, then the guru's dhoti is going to fall off also. And then where does the disciple go? Bloop. He falls back in the material world. He doesn't get to the spiritual world. So it's better not to hold on to the dhoti, hold on to the feet or the hand or whatever. The shika or whatever. So we can presently understand only with our material mind and intelligence. And with these faculties, material faculties, we cannot understand the true meaning of the Shastra on our own. Prahlad Maharaj says in the 7th canto of Bhagavatam, chapter 5, verse 32, one's awareness can turn to Krishna only by the grace of a great devotee of Krishna. That's a verse from the 7th canto. So our awareness, our understanding, our knowledge of Bhagavan is only possible by mercy of a great devotee of Krishna. Let's see what other point we have here. Radhe Shyam Krishna Balaram. Remember that? Samadhi Mandir. Brahma Vijayate. Shri Krishna said Kirtanam. This is about understanding the whole book. Like, don't take something out of context. Like, you see something in the book, we'll explain that. When we study a Shastra, we should not base our judgments on the Shastra on one verse. We should understand everything in context. Otherwise, instead of getting the intended message of the author, we will superimpose our ideas on the author. Like, for example, we read the Niti Shastra, read Manu Samhita. There's a verse in Manu Samhita that says that women are 9 times lustier than men. There's a shloka like that. So some woman's liberation person or some Hindu person or anti-Shastra, let's look at this verse. It's Manu Samhita, chapter 14, verse 7. It says women are 7 times lustier. So that's called taking out of context. But if you read verses 1 through 7, he explains what is the meaning of lust. Lust means the capacity to enjoy. So women have more capacity, not that they're 9 times lustier than men, they have more capacity to enjoy. And they have better senses or better noses, better ears, better tongues. So he explains his point very clearly. And that's, if you see the whole picture, when you read the whole Shastra, you get a different conclusion. This is happening all the time. Hinduism is getting blasted by different religious groups that aren't Hindus. They take some verse out of a book and say, look, see, Hindus say this, that. So it's very important not to read the whole book and get the whole, what's the intention of this book? What's the meaning of this book? To understand the whole book, not just take something out of context. Like sometimes you read Prabhupada's letters, in letters books he says, girls shouldn't go to Gurukul because they're not intelligent. Our girls shouldn't, they should learn sewing. Our young girls in ISKCON, they should learn sewing and cooking and chanting and puja. They shouldn't go to school, they shouldn't have Gurukul for girls because they're not smart. So that's one letter, Prabhupada wrote that to some guy or some husband or mother or father, whatever. But there's 100 letters where Prabhupada said, all our girls must be educated by modern standard. They must learn the standard modern education along with our spiritual subjects. So you take it out of context and say, what is Prabhupada? So that happens all the time. The deprogrammers and anti-ISKCON people have written articles in the paper. They do this all the time. They find one quote from some book, and they run with it. So be careful. That's called cheating. You're using, the author has a whole different intention, a whole different meaning, and you misrepresent the author, and you misrepresent the book by taking one verse out of a book of 100,000 verses, making a whole philosophy and a whole Siddhanta and a whole revolution about it. So this is a danger because we're subject to this type of idea. Do you understand what the point I'm making? See the whole picture. Like somebody knows that Mr. Smith is married to Mrs. Smith, okay? So he's in the mall and he sees Mr. Smith with his arm around a girl, a young lady, a little younger than his wife, but grown-up lady. And he has his arm around her, he's walking. So then that lady who sees Mr. Smith with his arm around some girl will call Mrs. Smith and say, I saw your husband in the mall, he's cheating on you. He's cheating on you, he has a girlfriend. She said, really? Well, he was walking in the mall with his arm around with a girl. What does she look like? I think his sister works in the mall. I think it was his sister. Oh, sorry. That's misreading the environment. Immediately jumping to the conclusion. It's his own daughter, or his own sister, younger sister, 5 years younger than her. And she said, I have my lunch break, why don't you go to lunch with me? Okay. So they just, so brothers and sisters can put their arms on each other. It's not an illicit relationship. So people immediately jump to conclusions. I'll give you another example. Because I have so many of these experiences in my own life. I was living down Ramareti's side of the world, and I was a member of Ramareti Institution. The famous RI, Ramareti Institution. Every day I was doing Vrindavan Parikrama with 4 Indian guys. 4 Indian guys, 1 German girl. She looked a little bit like you, actually. She had blonde hair and about your size, but had blue eyes. That was the difference. But anyway, so she was walking, there was us, I was walking with 4 or 5 Indian guys. They were my students living in Ramareti area. And she said to me, well, I want to go on Brickman too. I said, you walk behind us 5 or 10 feet, you can follow us and be there. Okay. So we did it every day. It was in Kartik. It was our Kartik Vrat. So this lady from Germany is 10 feet behind me, and I'm surrounded on both sides, in front and back, by 5 or 6 Indian guys. So after middle of Kartik, and over on Prabhupada's Tirobhav Day, many big leaders, CVC, gurus, and ISKCON came to Vrindavan. And then they had a meeting with me. They called me and they said, we heard from some reliable sources. Reliable sources. You're doing frickin' every morning with some German girl. That's not good. You're sannyasi, it's not good. I said, what? Do you have any pictures of this? No, we don't have any pictures. No, we had cell phone those days. It was 1995 or around 95, 96, maybe, 95. And there wasn't any cell phones, and so no one had a picture on their cell phone. But I said, really? That's all you can say? They said, yeah, this is not good. You have to stop this. I said, well, you want to know the truth? Who knows better, your reliable source or me? So what they did, they interviewed a German girl, and I told them the names of 4 or 5 guys, and they interviewed them, and they never got back to me, but they never bothered me after that. Because the 4 or 5 Indian guys said, we're walking on either side of it, and the German lady started walking behind him. There's no funny business going on. There's no thing going on. So this is how judging things out of context. Well, there's one Western guy, and she's 10 feet behind, and one girl, but they must be together.
One white and another white.
Yeah, one white plus one white means trouble. One white and 6 blacks, or 6 brownies, and one white, So we do the same thing with Shastra. We see the whole picture, but we pick out one thing, oh, look at this. It's very common. In my years in ISKCON, many times women would read quotations in Prabhupada's books and make a big istagosti, bring up the point, Prabhupada is this, not this. Misconception, misunderstanding is very problematic. Okay. Understanding take context. That's me. Yeah. One thing, no one sleeps in our class. It's too cold. Outdoor venue, it was like freezing. So this, what is, let me ask you, what is the Bhagavatam to us? To go to Vaishnavas, what is the Bhagavad Puran? If someone says to you, what does the Bhagavad Puran, Srimad Bhagavatam mean to you? What does it mean to you?
It's the most important source of Brahman.
Anyone agree with that? Why do you say that?
Because in your classes you always say that whatever Shastric proof is not agree with Bhagavatam, we reject it.
This idea, let me just explain how he explains it. As Gaudiya Vaishnavas, the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Puran, is the supreme authority for us. Anything that's not in agreement or alignment with the Bhagavatam is not accepted as authoritative. You say Ramayana says this, you say Tulsidas says this, you say Shiv Puran says this, you say Devi Bhagavat says this, you say Osho says this, Osho says that. We say, don't know about pronouns, but that's not in Bhagavatam. It's for you, that's good, that's perfect, I respect that, but I don't accept that, I don't follow that. So why we say that? Because this is what our acharyas say, this is what our gurus accept and follow. So we're Gaudiya, so this is what it means to be a guru. Even statements of Puranas that seem to contradict the Bhagavatam, are interpreted by our acharyas to remove the contradiction. They read the Shiva Purana and says Shiva is supreme. Read Ramayana and says Ramayana, the Lord Rama is Swayam Bhagavan. You say Krishna is Sri Bhagavan Swayam, we say Ramastu. Ramastu Bhagavan Swam. You say Bhagavan says Krishnastu Bhagavan Swam. First canto, chapter 3, verse 28. Very good. Ramayana, Yudhikanda, chapter 14, verse 7 says Rama Swam Bhagavat. Now what? Oh, child. That's you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Rama. Win-win situation. Hare Krishna. Hare Rama. You're right, we're right. Rama is Swayam Bhagavan for you, and Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan for us. And Shiva is Swayam Bhagavan for you, okay, no problem. Our acharyas, any statement that goes against the Bhagavatam, they interpret it and twist it this way, that way, to make it agree with the Bhagavatam. The Bhagavatam clearly says Krishna never comes back to Vrindavan. He leaves Vrindavan, goes to Dwarka, never comes back. He gives up his body in Pravasa Kshetra outside of Dwarka at 125 years old. But our acharyas don't believe that. They don't accept that. They say, no, he never takes a step out of Vrindavan, it says in Bhagavad Puran. We follow that. But the Bhagavad Puran doesn't agree with the Bhagavad Puran. Bhagavad Puran says, Vrindavanam pritaja paramekam nagachati. Well, you said the Bhagavad Puran is your main Shastra. The Bhagavad Puran says Krishna leaves Vrindavan. Now you're saying he comes back to Vrindavan. He never leaves Vrindavan. And your Kavi Karnapur, he wrote a whole book of Vrindavan called Nana Vrindavan Shampoo. He didn't write anything about Mathura or Dwarka. You guys are slippery, you know. you say we believe the Bible, we follow Shastra. You call whatever you want to quote the story. Support your position. So, if you read Vishnu Purana, it says that Krishna is an avatar of Vishnu. You read the dictionary, encyclopedia, look at the word Krishna, Encyclopedia Britannica. It says the 8th avatar of Vishnu. You say it, but you go to you say it, Krishna Star Avatari. He serves all avatars. Mahavishnu, Garudaksha, Vishnu, Krishna. Sorry, that's the way it is. For us, the Bhagavatam is the way, the light, and the truth. The Bhagavad says in Krishna Swayam Bhagavan, therefore, Jiva Goswami interprets any contradictory statements by using grammatical rules to prove that such statements are not actually contradictory to statements of Bhagavatam. So, Jiva Goswami is a very expert pundit, so he can take a contradiction and turn it into an agreement. You're contradicting with me. You're contradicting me. And after I see you for 5 minutes, you agree. I use a little jadu, a little magic, a little word twisting. No, this word you break this word Krishna, Krishna. So this is an important fact to accept and swallow and believe that Bhagavad is for us, everything. It's an amazing idea. You guys are totally brainwashed, man. I'm not going to fall for it. I have my Bible. The Bible says the world is flat. That's all I know. And Jesus is God. Okay, that's good. Is Jesus blue? Is he green? Is he yellow? Is he white? Is he red? Like Yogi Avatar is red? He's brown. Okay. This is a point about a very famous and important book that all Gaudiya Vaishnavas should read, and it's called Brihad Bhagavatamrita by Sanatana Goswami, because it analyzes the entire Bhagavatam from the point of mercy and point of highest, best devotees of Krishna and the best holy abode of God, of absolute truth. So some nice points about Brihad Bhagavatamrita, because some people think Brihad Bhagavatamrita is not a book of history, but it's a book that describes the principles of Uttam Bhakti. It is a very good idea to study Brihad Bhagavatamrita, to learn about Bhakti, not history. Whenever we study a book, we should always keep the author's intention in mind. Why did he write this book? What is the purpose of this book? Because Brihad Bhagavatamrita is two stories in one book. It's the story of Narada Muni searching for which devotee got the most mercy, and it's the story of Gopakumar in his journey to perfection to find his Ishtadevata. So, the story of Narada Muni traveling to visiting different places and different devotees is this, someone asked, is this just a fictional story? He said, yes. Narada is traveling to different places, it's all Kavi Shristi, it's creation of the poet. The poet is Sanatana Goswami. Whenever someone's writing a love story, who created that love story?
Author.
Yeah.
The author. So it's his world. So Sanatana Goswami created his own world called Brihad Bhagavatamrita to illustrate pure loving devotion, and the power of Diksha mantras, the power of Guru Kripa, etc. So that should be kept in mind. It was the intention. Keep the author's intention in mind. So Narada travels, but the principles that are conveyed there are based on the Bhagavatam. The purpose is not to tell a story of Narada Muni's journey, or a story of Gopakumar's journey to perfection, but to prevent Siddhanta. The story is a means to convey and teach Siddhanta, spiritual truth. The other way of presenting Siddhanta is to speak directly Siddhanta. Vedanta Sutra is only Siddhanta. Vedanta Sutra is also called Brahma Sutra. That's important to understand. Don't get lost in the storyline. Always keep the purpose in mind. The person asks the question, I understand that the purpose of the first part of Brihad Bhagavatamrita is to bring out the super excellence of the love of the Vrishvasis for Krishna. This is done by a step-by-step manner, starting from a devotee in Varanasi and gradually going through higher realms of bhakti, exemplified by Indra, Shiva, Hanuman, Yadav. And the purpose of the second part is to bring out the super excellence of Krishna and Vrindavan by going through various forms of the Lord, beginning with Shalagram, Jagannath, Vamanadev, Mahapurush, Lord Narayana, Ram, etc. The nature of various spiritual forms of Bhagavan are accurately described in the second part. Is my understanding correct? Yes, your understanding is correct. The basic principles of this book have been extracted by Rupa Goswami in the form of Lagu Bhagavatamrita. You can compare the two and see which is more reliable to read. In other words, the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam is Uttam Bhakti, most perfectly exemplified by the Gopis and Vrindavan in their loving relationship with Krishna. The whole Bhagavatam describes different spiritual realms and different spiritual devotees. And it concludes with the 10th canto, describes the highest spiritual realm, which is Goloka Vrindavan, and the highest spiritual devotees were the Gopis and Brajvasis in Vrindavan, worshipping the form of Krishna, not Vaman, not Nrsimha, etc. So Lagu Bhagavatamrita summarizes the entire Bhagavatam in only verses. It's like Vedanta Sutra. There's no story. So Satyanarayana Das Babaji made a nice point. You can compare the two books because we rather read stories and learn philosophy than just read straight philosophy. I read both books several times. I read Srimad Bhagavatam 4 or 5 times. 4 or 5 times Lagu Bhagavatam. It's much more fun to read Srimad Bhagavatam and more comfortably read the book, you know. It's like eating raw krill or eating stuffed krill. You know, stuffed krill, fried krill, you know, fried. And eating krill chips with lots of salt, or eating raw krill juice. What would you rather have? When you go to Mayapur Festival, ISKCON, they don't serve out raw krill juice. They serve out krill chips. Krill is the krill is it's not a good analogy. It's not a good analogy. But stories are better are like sweets. It's like learning philosophy with eating sweets at the same time. Okay, hang in there. Now we're going on ahead. We're skipping ahead. There's some more. I give him in the book. He talks about it because it's question and answers. He brings up this subject again later on about Bhagavatamrita. We should always try to understand what the author is trying to convey, the intention of Sanatana Goswami and Bhagavatamrita is not to talk about Anitya changing forms, but to explain Uttam Bhakti and the process to attain it. If somebody asks a question, it appears that Narada Muni is changing his forms and becoming different personalities in different realms, but that's not the point of the book. Okay. It's free, called Sure Gloves. Hands are free. Yeah, now my hands are full. It's okay. Actually, in my room, on my shelf, there's a light on one shelf where my asana. Above that shelf, on the far right, there's a pair of gray-colored gloves. I don't have good circulation. My hands are freezing. And there's no fire in this furnace. So things aren't moving too fast. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Look at this girl. I feel the same way. this roommate there is more unhealthy. She's Miss Health personified. She has good karma. She got fired. Okay, good, thank you. Wait. Okay. God almighty. You're out already good there. Look at Eskimos. That one's okay. Oh, wait, we got one thing. No, okay. This is so funny. My body doesn't work yet. I was like, oh, wait. So I was alive, but the machine doesn't work. This is another important point. Just because something is written in the different types of statements in Shastra. So not only Shastras, but there's different types of statements. So just because something is written in Ujjayilamani or Bhakti Rasmita Sindhu or Bhagavad Gita or Chaitanya Charitamrita does not mean that that's a recommendation of the author. To make this clear, there are various types of statements in Shastra. Listen, some verses or statements in Shastra are descriptive. Some are injunctive. Injunctive means laws. Because you must fast. That's a Shastric injunction. But some are descriptive, describing something. So descriptive statements in Shastra are not recommendations to be followed. For example, in the 6th canto of Bhagavatam, the story of Jamil, chapter 2, verse 14. Let's pour that out. Let's go. Pour it out. Yeah, Ross. There's a statement, there's a verse there. It says, if you chant the name of Bhagavan jokingly or in a song or even with disrespect, you become free of all sins. So this is called a descriptive statement. It's not a recommendation of how to chant, but a description of the power of the holy name. It's a very important point, because somebody may read this and says, I read in the Bhagavatam verse, 6th canto, chapter 2, verse 14, says if you chant jokingly, or sing a song, you sing some rock and roll song, like maybe you should let me Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Whatever. The Bhagavatam is recommending I should sing a song and add Hare Krishna to it, or I should chant jokingly. This isn't the way it is. Or if someone takes this statement as authoritative and chants in that way and recommends it to others, this is a very common thing. So some statements or shastras are just describing. So they're not describing that you should chant jokingly. The purpose of this description is to show the power of the holy name. If by chance, if you do chant jokingly, if by chance you do sing a song and you chant Krishna's name in the middle of your love song or your singing the blues, it will get some benefit. We have to see what Lord Chaitanya and the Goswamis recommend. That's a very common thing. That's why the only way to understand Shastra is read the Shastra with a teacher. It will get so many misunderstandings, misconceptions. And people will feel convinced because they feel if I'm quoting Shastra, I have authority. I'm quoting this Shastras, Tasmat Shastra, in 16th chapter Gita, chapter verse 24, Krishna says, Tasmat Shastra Pramanam, Shastra Pramanam. So I start a whole joking Hare Krishna movement. You chant and laugh all the time and chant. So I said, it's in the Shastra, Bhagavatam said you should chant jokingly. It's not saying you chant jokingly. No, I said it's just that you don't understand. You're misinterpreting the Shastra. This is not an injunction. Injunction means the rule. It's just describing something. Just like it says, you die in Vrindavan, you get liberated. So is that true?
Yeah.
Yes, it's true. Because I asked my guru about it. But people think that it says if you die in Vrindavan, you get liberated. It means you just come here and do any nonsense, or just come here at the last minute before you die, you get liberated. That statement is describing the glories of Vrindavan. So much misinterpretation. Because, so whether it's going to be true or not, that depends on a lot of factors. So one thing is, but there's nowhere anywhere in Shastra that says if you die in Delhi, you get liberated. You die in Moscow. So what is the difference between dying in Vrindavan and dying in anywhere else outside Vrindavan, Rome, Milano, etc.? So that has to be understood by a teacher who can explain it. You read Mathura Mahavniyam by Rupa Goswami, he quotes the Puranas, anyone dies Vrindavan gets liberated. So I read in the Shastra. It means that Vrindavan has the power to liberate. And there are also examples of dacoits who came here and died in Vrindavan and got liberated. So it's a little bit dangerous that if you're counting on that only Vrindavan liberating you, it may not liberate you. So the idea is that Vrindavan is a very special place, has Vastu Shakti, has special power to liberate jivas who die here. But will you be that lucky jiva to get liberated? That depends on a lot of factors. Aparad's faith in Shastra, being near aparadi, being nishtha in faith, and basically one gets liberated anywhere in the world if they have prema. But Vrindavan is special. There are history of many people, the very fallen people came here and got liberated, and so that basically is the glorification of Vrindavan. What will happen? Why the Shastra is describing this exaggerated statement? So what is the intention of the author?
Glorify Vrindavan, to glorify the holy name.
The intention of the author is to glorify Vrindavan and to encourage people to come live in Vrindavan and do bhajan. Come live here and do bhajan. Vrindavan is a special place. If you come here and live and do bhajan, do bhakti bhajan, you'll experience the speciality of Vrindavan. The power that Vrindavan gives for for meditation and for chanting, absorption, etc. So there's many aspects and angles of Shastra. Some are exaggerated, some statements in Shastra are exaggeration. If you chant one name of Krishna is equal to 3,000 names of Vishnu, it's no calculation, it's no fact like that. It's just to emphasize the power of Krishna's name. So this is the idea, you should understand. This point is about consistency among different Shastras. One verse can have various meanings, but the meanings of that verse must be consistent with other parts of the same Shastra. This technically is called Shastra Sangati, meaning scriptural consistency is an essential aspect of interpretation. For example, chapter 18 of the Gita, verse 65. Madhvanabha Madhvakta Madhyaji Manamastu.
Mame Vaishasi Satyamate Pratijame Priyasti Me.
Look at that verse that's in the bottom here. Now look it up in that book. This verse, 1865. Padyaji, it means one who worships. Mud means mom, me, Krishna speaking to Arjuna. And he said, one who thinks of me, worships me. It is Madhyaji. Madhyaji means one who worships me. Okay? That's to me, that's the intention. That's the intention of the speaker. That's the intention of the book. So it must be consistency. That verse should be consistent with every other verse. That's the example he gives. The word Madhyaji in Gita can be translated by a Sanskrit scholar. The mud in this Madhyaji can be translated as Madhya. Madhya means you drink liquor. And the word Aji, A-G-I, because Aji means goats. Goats, Bakri, goats. It means you drink liquor and eat goats. The Sanskrit word mud, Madhyaji, you can break it up. It's where the key says Madhyaji. You can say Madhya, Aji. You know, you may break it. It's Madhyaji, you can Madhya, Aji. So Madhya means drink liquor, and Aji means goat. So Krishna say, always think of me. So if someone wants to do a twist on the Gita, a Sanskrit materialistic person, then Krishna says, think of God, and drink whiskey, and eat goats. You're laughing, but people do that all the time. But such an interpretation is accurate according to Sanskrit, but it's not consistent with other parts of the Gita. The Gita says in 9th chapter, verse 34, Krishna says, think of me, worship me, become my devotee, all these things. So the whole Bhagavad Gita is about worshiping Krishna and serving him and loving him and surrendering everything to Krishna. Always chanting his name, Satyanarayana Das Babaji Maharaj, etc., etc. So that's called Shastra Sangati. Sangha means an agreement. Scriptural Shastra consistency. It's an essential part of interpretation. Pretty cool idea, huh? So you translate this way, that way. So someone who's materialist will translate the Gita in an interesting way. Drink whiskey goes. Don't think that's funny? You're too sober. Too Russian. That's not funny. Okay, I'm sorry. Forgive me. I take back my laughter. I withdraw my laughter. When you're in the presence of Russians, you have to what? Careful. Indians I can relate to. No, it's not. You're not affected that much. He's halfway. He's in between. You got it. I don't know. What's the next thing here? Let's see. Nothing personal. This is hierarchy among different Shastras. Hierarchy. We already established that Bhagavatam is the highest. Hierarchy means relative position of supremacy, superiority, hierarchy. Hierarchy means which one is top, which one is tops, which one is superior. Here's a situation here. Say a weak person, someone is weak and sick, he may be an Ayurvedic doctor, and the Ayurvedic doctor will prescribe him to eat meat. Since the Ayurveda is given by Vishnu, which form of Vishnu gave Ayurveda? Dhanvantari, the avatar of Vishnu. So meat should be allowed to be eaten. You say worship Vishnu, Krishna, you're Vaishnava. Vaishnava means worship of Vishnu. So Vishnu, Dhamantari wrote the Ayurvedic, spoke the Ayurvedic knowledge, and there it prescribes meat, and Ayurvedic medicines have meat in them. Like Prabhupada and Lilamrita, his father went to an Ayurvedic doctor. Prabhupada had some disease, chicken pox or something, some disease, deadly disease. The doctor prescribed chicken soup. And he tried to feed it to Prabhupada and he spit it out. Boo, 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 he spit it out. Because that's his, he didn't eat it. So what's the answer? It's true, Ayurveda has medicines that may contain meat, but it's one's choice whether to take them or not. Everything comes from Vishnu, even poison comes from Vishnu. Ayurveda also describes various types of poison and their qualities, but that does not mean that you should take poison. Ayurveda is a book of medical science and gives the properties of even stool and urine. Vishnu has given us intelligence, buddhi, to make decisions and to discriminate what is good for ourselves. Vaishnavas have their own shastra, like Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavad Puran, which are also coming from Vishnu. For a Vaishnava, if there's a conflict between these scriptures or any other book such as Ayurveda, then the former takes precedence over the latter. In other words, our main Shastra, Gita and Bhagavatam. And those books, Bhagavad Gita describes we should eat food of all goodness. So animals are not the mode of, eating animals is not a mode of goodness, it's a mode of tamagun. Blood is tamagun, and flesh of animals is tamagun. When someone wants to do something that is unacceptable, one will find support for it in Shastra. Rationalization is a tendency of the human mind. I remember once I was in Delhi, and someone told me, they said they're eating garlic. They're initiated already, what they call ISKCON Brahmin initiated already. They're taking garlic because they have a heart condition. Because I had a heart attack or whatever, stroke, in 2003. I don't know when. That was 2019. I'm taking heart medicine since 2012. I get confused. And I had a stroke. Anyway, so the person said, "Oh, you should take garlic. It's very good for the heart." I said our principles were we don't eat onions and garlic. He said, "No, I know, I don't either. But I went to an Ayurvedic doctor. I had heart condition. He prescribed garlic and gave me medicine with garlic, and it's working very well. So, for medicinal purposes, you should take garlic." I said, "Listen, Jack, you have to understand one thing. Ayurveda is divided into three parts. There's Tamasic Ayurveda, there's Sattvic Ayurveda, and there's Rajasic Ayurveda. So you're a doctor, and so a doctor can prescribe medicine from any part of the Ayurveda. Just like someone said, they were taking onions and garlic, he says, it's good for digestion. I said, onions and garlic are good for digestion if you're in Tamagun. You want to stay in Tamagun. But you can also look at Ayurvedic Shastra. What's good for digestion is Kali Mirch and Adrak. Adrak and Kali Mirch are very good for digestion. Also Ajwain seeds are very good for digestion. Or you take Kalmeg. You can get an herb called Kalmeg. It's a plant called Kalmeg. It's a bitter plant. It's homeopathic medicine. They synthesize it called Kalmeg. So it's also good for digestion, but it's sattvic. Ginger is sattvic. Ajwain is sattvic. So black pepper is sattvic. Where's your phone? Give me your phone. This slides around too much. This doesn't slide. Thank you. Thank you. This guy doesn't. It's heavier too. That one's too light. However, that's the point. It's a hierarchy of Shastra. Because, that's what it says, rationalization is a tendency of the human mind. But it's initiated in Delhi, Brahmin initiated. He's rationalized, it's for my health. I have to take it for my health. There's always an alternative. There's so many alternatives. But if you don't want to try the alternative, then... But I had so many people come to me recommend different medicines, different things. You should live by your principles or die by your principles. Now you just change the direction with the direction of the wind. No. It's not like that. Not too many people coming out today. Class is pretty slim attendance. Just the local folks here. Good, somebody came. So this is a summary of Vedas. A little summary of Vedas. What's the difference between Vedas, Upanishads, Puranas, and Itihasa? The Vedas are also called Shrutis. They are a body of knowledge which is eternal knowledge, which was revealed by Bhagavan to Brahma at the beginning of creation. So how old are the Vedas?
Very old.
Eternal.
No.
Universe.
No way. Beginning.
Eternal. They don't change. And the Vedas can also be revealed to qualified sages. The Vedas have 4 divisions: Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyaka, and Upanishads. That's the Vedas. The Vedas are the Shrutis. The Vedas, what are the Shrutis? Upanishads, Aranyakas, Brahmanas, Samhitas, are also called Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, Atharvaveda. Itihasas contains 2 books. Itihasa means history. Like when we go on yatra, I don't know how attentive you are in listening. We go on yatra, we go to different temples, or meet the pujaris in those temples. And I tell one of my Indian friends, ask him what's the itihas. Can you tell us the itihas of this murti, of this lila stali? Can you tell us the lilas happened here and tell us itihas? Itihas means history of this place. I mean, I don't know if you've heard or not, but I said that. Usually I ask Govinda, if you know, because the guy's going to speak Hindi and he'll translate. So what are the 2 itihas, most famous itihasas?
Ramayana and Mahabharata.
You don't count. You don't know. What is the book of Mahabharata?
Mahabharata.
What is it, I'm asking?
Story.
History of what?
History of in India.
What?
History of India.
The history of Bharat.
Bharat.
This country, this land, this world has been called Bharat for millions of years. It's been called India for the last 200, 300, 400 years. Because the river that separates Pakistan from India is called Indus River. But people like conquerors, the Mughals came here, don't have the letter I. They couldn't say Indus, so they called Indus Hindus. There are people who live on the other side, Indus. One side is Pakistan, all the Mughals live there. They came to that river and they crossed the river. They said, what's this river? It's called Indus. They call it Hindus. And the people who live on the other side are called Hindus. That was about 800 years ago. So India got the name India after Indus River, which is now flowing in Pakistan, 800 years ago. What was it called before that? Mahabharat. Bharat. Bharat Varsha, the land of Bharat. What's the second history book?
Ramayana.
Ramayana. So there's difference whether that's the Vedas and now the Upanishads and the Itihas. So the Puranas are 18 Puranas, were written by Vyasadeva. The Itihas and Puranas together are called Smriti. So what kind of Shastra is the Bhagavad Gita? Pay attention. What kind of Shastra is the Gita? Is it a Shruti? Is it a Smriti? What type of Shastra is it?
Maybe Smriti.
Where does the Bhagavad Gita appear?
In Mahabharata.
What kind of book is Mahabharata?
Mahabharata is history.
And histories are Smritis. This is what I'm saying. The Itihasas and Puranas are Smriti. So what's the Bhagavatam? Is it a Shruti or Smriti?
Smriti.
Very clear. The Smritis and the Puranas, Itihasas and Puranas are a supplement to the Vedas. They help in understanding the Vedas. They're written in each Mamantar. In each Mamantar, they're written by Vyasadeva. It's a little Shastra summary here. two more entries and then we'll end this thing. It's going to be quite, I think this is Understanding Shastra Part-4. We're in a whole series of lectures Understanding Shastra. So, and the next requirements for Diksha, first thing people have to listen to is this. And then the reading list. Okay, ready? Keep your hands in your toby. Your hands in your toby. That's a good idea. And there's a question asked. Some say that even if they are insincere, at least they visit Vrindavan sometimes. They hear kirtan, they honor, they take prasad. At least they're not complete atheists. What do you think of this way of approach? Babaji says, there's no shortcut to spirituality. There are descriptive statements, statements of praise, and statements that supply injunctions. When it says in Shastra that dying in Vrindavan leads to moksha or bhakti, it is not an injunction that one should die in Vrindavan, and for the rest of one's life, one should lead a non-devotional life. Shastra has to be understood in accordance with other statements that one should not commit a sinful or offensive act in a sacred place like Vrindavan. By reading such statements describing the greatness of a spiritual object, one should develop reverence and respect for it, not try to misuse it. Someone says, what is the most common mistake when approaching Gaudiya Siddhanta? Babaji says, this is an interesting question. What was the question?
What is the most common mistake when one approaches Shastra?
Siddhanta, the conclusion, the truth of Gaudiya truth. Now this is a Pandit Satyanarayana Das Babaji, one of the most learned Gaudiya Vaishnavas on the planet today. He says, one mistake is to take everything literally. Gaudiya Vaishnavism specifically, and Vedic scriptures in general, are not always to be taken literally. There's a great deal of interpretation required. The second mistake that people make is keeping a do-it-yourself attitude. Do-it-yourself means we think we can study Shastra on our own and understand them. This is far from the truth. Yeah, I met hundreds of devotees in the last 50 years of bhakti who said, I'm studying Brahma's books and chanting Hare Krishna. I'm getting everything from the books. You get everything from the books. I don't need any teachers, I don't need any guru, I don't need anybody. Now the books have the holy name. Has anyone ever met anybody like that?
Yes.
There are thousands, hundreds of people like that all around the world. This is called do-it-yourself attitude. I don't need a guru, I'm guru. I don't need a God, I'm God. I'm guru, I'm God, I'm good. The third difficulty in understanding Gaudiya Siddhanta is difficulty in grasping and understanding the Indian culture. These books of Gaudiya Siddhanta and Vedic books in general were written in India. So it's important to understand the Indian setting in order to understand Gaudiya Vaishnavism. It is not easy to separate the two. That's why it's very good to visit Vrindavan, visit Navadvip, visit Jagannath Puri. The fourth, these are three points, three difficulties, three problems that Western people face or anybody faces when they try to understand Gaudiya Siddhanta. The modern mind, the mind of modern men and women is very self-centered. We are raised to be independent from the very beginning of our lives. Like when we were little, our parents give us allowance. They give us 50 rupees, 5 rupees, whatever. Or 5, 6, 7. Then when we get about 12 or 13, they say, I'm not giving you any more allowance. You get some job. Get some part-time job. Go cut lawns or, go pick apples in an apple orchard. Work in the summer, save your money. I'm not giving you any more money. Get to work. So from the earliest age, the parents, you should be independent, make money. Don't just mooch off your parents. You're a big boy now. Now go make some money. Oh, what? The fun's over. Dad gave you some money. Mom gave you some money. No. We are not trained to surrender or to serve. We are not trained to surrender or to serve. I ain't serving nobody. I ain't bowing down to no man. Forget it, Jack. I'm a man, not a mouse. It is very difficult for such a self-centered, independent, unsurrendered puffed up mind to have a deep relationship with another individual. It is difficult even to grasp what it means to have such a relationship. And Gaudiya Vaishnavism is all about what?
Surrender and service.
It's all about relationships. What is the word in Sanskrit for relationships?
Sambandha.
Very good. Very smart. She's got a brain. No common sense, but a good brain. Good brain and good heart. That's the fact. Crazy as a pink elephant, but you are sharp intelligence. Okay, stay around. You need a few more nuts. You need a few more nuts. These guys are sober. They're balanced now. He's nutty, you're nutty, I'm nutty. He's on the fence. He's on the fence, these guys they're like the witnesses. Jai Shivani. So this is the problem. Gaudiya Vaishnava is about relationships. Guru Shishya Prem Sambandha. Sambandha Gyan, Abhidheya Gyan, Prayojana Gyan. Relationship, foundation, getting along, cooperation. I'll cook this, you cook that. I'll do this, you do that. You play cardinals, I'll play harmonium, you play mridanga. Relationships, cooperation, sambandha. Yeah? Doesn't work otherwise. Gaudiya Vaishnavism is all about relationships. Knowledge and bhakti. This Satyanarayana Das Babaji is a very deep thinker and very profound philosopher. I have great admiration and respect for him. Knowledge and bhakti flow only through relationships, especially the relationship in Raganuga Bhakti. So knowledge and bhakti, knowledge means understanding Krishna and all the different aspects of Krishna and my relationship with Krishna. And bhakti means love, how to love Krishna. So to receive knowledge and love of Krishna, you can only receive it through relationships. Sadhusanga, relationships, God sisters and God sisters, Guru and Shishya, God brothers, God sisters, relationships. Like one time, one devotee said to Prabhupada, one disciple said to Prabhupada, Prabhupada, I'm trying to love Krishna. I'm trying to serve and love Krishna and dedicate my life to serving and loving Krishna. But I can't get along with devotees. I'm living in a temple, but I want your permission to move outside the temple. I'll get a flat near the temple and I'll come to the programs. Prabhupada said, there's no question of loving Krishna unless you can love the devotees. There's no question of establishing a relationship with Krishna, of love and service eternal, unless you can establish a loving relationship with devotees. The point is, look, imagine here, irregardless of Siddhadeya or no Siddhadeya, or Manjri Shu or no Manjri Shu, you look around this room, you see God sisters and God brothers and Guru. We're supposed to love each other, not be envious of each other, not find fault with each other, not put each other down. We're supposed to put each other up. But that's not often happening because we're so dirty-minded and filthy-hearted that we're always putting each other down or trying to get ahead or envious if someone's doing more seva or seems like closer to the Guru. We get envious of that person. This is not the way. Now, this is a great, profound sense. Knowledge of Krishna and bhakti, love for Krishna, flows only through relationships. Relationships with sisters, relationships with brothers, relationship with spiritual father. Guru is the spiritual father. So the more harmonious the relationship is, the more intimate the relationship is, and free from envy, and free from greed and lust and all kinds of contaminating aspects and substances, the more beautiful that relationship is, the more spiritual it is, and more productive and beneficial that relationship is for everyone. Amen. Everyone agree?
Yes.
That's nice. We agree on something. This is the last entry of the book. It's a note I took. This is we talk about reading Shastra, and maybe we think of reading a book, but modern devotees, they don't often read books. They read telephones. They read mobiles, or whatever they call those things, Kindle readers. They're looking at some screen and reading some information, some transcript of some lecture, or hearing some lecture. So somebody sent me an article, so I read it, and there's all kinds of opposite, Siddhanta Virud, points in the article that were against Siddhanta. So I made a note in the back of this book to share that this is something we should be aware of and be careful of, because we're so much information overload. We're reading so many things on net and on our, Facebook or WhatsApp or just on on the internet. So we have to, some things we should be aware of. Because somebody sent me a post. A lot of people are sharing things now. So someone they were had a good intention, the devotee had a good intention, and he or she, I forget what it was, shared a post with many people on their WhatsApp site. The post was about Manjari Bob and Manjari Tava. It was all upside down. So I read it and I said, so if you get a post from somebody and has no author's name, somebody shared a post with me, had no author's name. Who wrote this? Who spoke this? I don't have any idea. So I created my first doubt, and red lights went off. I became very suspicious. Who is this? Is this person from traditional Parivar? Is he from Neo Vaishnava Parivar? Is he from IGM? Who's written it? Because wherever we're from influences the way we present things. So this article is all about manjaris and all this. There was no shlokas quoted. Not one shloka was quoted in the whole article. Not from Bhakti Sandarbha, not from Raghavarman Chandrika, not from Vidakuswandi. No shastric sources, references were given. And it was a long article about Manjari Bob, many pages, and posted on Manjari Bob. And the conclusion of the article is you don't need Siddhadeha. There's no need for Siddhadeha. You can attain Manjari Bob, you can practice Manjari Bob without Siddhadeha. And the conclusion article says all that, Krishna will arrange all that when you get to the spiritual world. You get your Siddhadeha there. That's what the article said. But what does Lord Chaitanya say about Siddhadeha? What does Rupa Goswami say about Siddhadeha? What does Vishnu Thakur? They all say that you should meditate on Siddhadeha as a sadhaka. There's so many verses in Bhakti Rosini, Seva Sadhurupena, Sirupena, Chadri. So this article, it's a very long article, and the main point is you don't need Siddhadeha. So that means who's written this article? It's written by someone that doesn't give Siddhadeha. It doesn't have Siddhadeha. And this was sent to me and everybody in my Sangha, everybody that I know about. So this is a great disservice. It's Siddhanta Virud, it's against the Shastra. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in Chaitanya Chaitanya, you should meditate on your Siddhadeha. Now, not wait till it's arranged when you get to, it doesn't say it'll be arranged when you get to the spiritual world. But the teaching of the six Goswamis, Lord Chaitanya, and all our acharyas of the traditional parivars, Nididana Parivar, they all say Siddhadeha is given by Guru or revealed by Krishna, by holy name, whatever. But whenever you get a Siddhadeha, you should start meditating on it and doing Seva, Manasi Seva, and that's Siddhadeha. So beware of unauthored, no author articles. As soon as you get anything like that, just reject it. Don't even waste time. Somebody said, this is a good post, I'm sharing it with you. I didn't reply to the person, I just made a note of it. I want to speak it publicly. No author's name, so you don't know who wrote it. Ask the 6 questions. What are the 6 questions?
Where, when.
Who, what, when, where, why, how? Who wrote this? Why they write this? We're trying to preach against it. Siddhadeha. Who will preach that? Will traditional Parivar preach against Siddhadeha? No, then who wrote it? But they have no guts, they have no... they have no courage to put their name on it. So we should speak the truth and write the truth and put our name on it. Rupa Goswami says this, Vishnu Thakur says this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says this. So the person is offending Lord Chaitanya, saying, forgive us today, that'll be arranged here. Where does it say that in the Goswami books? Where does Lord Chaitanya say that? We're going to Vaishnavism. So this is a very important point. I want everyone to understand this. Who wrote this? Why did they write this? What are they saying? Is what they're saying is it according to Shastra or against Shastra? Are they quoting Shastra or any Shastra quoted? This is a good way to screen some book or some article. There's a famous book written by Nishkan Devotee, a very popular book. It hardly quotes any Shastra. I won't mention the name or the title. It's a very popular book in ISKCON about higher forms of bhakti. There's no Shastra quoted. It's just the author's ideas. So you have to believe and accept that the author is self-realized, God-realized. He's beyond quoting Shastra. Lord Chaitanya quotes Shastra and Chaitanya Charitamrita. All the Goswamis quote Shastra. The Bhakti, the Sandarbhas by Jiva Goswami is thousands and thousands of Bhagavatam verses quoted, just to explain his points. Any questions on this point? Jai Jai Shri Radhe. That was Understanding Shastras, part.
Just now.
Just now. Take it out the battery. It's inside there.